So here's a fun project. I have lots of this hardwood cutoffs. I've been trimming them and kind of getting them ready for this job. I also made a bunch of 1.5 inch strips and planed them on both edges. Although in hindsight, I really didn't need to plane them on the other edge, but I did because that way if you flip it over, you're okay. So the concept is I'm going to create 4 panels, and they're going to set on top of the foosball table when it's not in use, and especially when I'm working in the area, because I have a tendency to start putting stuff on it, a drill, other tools, and it's just I hate setting them on the bars and the men, and that way if there was some party or something and we were only using one foosball table, because in the foosball hangout we have multiple tables. So the idea is it's 48 inches wide. Now that does not cover the ends of the table, but that'll cover all the open area where the bars are and the men are. So if I run a strip along here and here, and the boards are going this way, screw them in, and then I'll cap it off with a nice board so you only see a couple screws, could even plug them, and that'll be on each side. So each panel will lift off separately, so they're not that heavy individually. Now I did make a top for one foosball table several years ago for one as their estate, and I made the whole thing in one piece. It's just, even out of pine, it's just too heavy. I couldn't move it by myself, because if you start tipping it up, you're going to hit the bars, and I didn't want to bend the bars or anything. It may not bend them, but if it did, it'd be a bummer. So it turns out if I go 9 inches wide in between here, that'll leave my 3 inch, because each piece will be 12 inches wide, each panel, by 51 inches long. So the handles are just barely covered in the bars. So that's the idea. It should look really cool. I'm going to make one set to see how it works out. If that works out, I may make another set, because I could use 2 sets, even more, but that'll be enough, I think. Okay, so let's start putting one together.